Have you ever felt like trying to change a habit is just a constant uphill battle? You start off strong, but it feels like you're fighting yourself the whole way. Well, today we're going to talk about a fundamental shift in thinking that can turn that struggle into a clear path forward. Okay, let's get into it.
We've all been there, right? You set a goal, you're all in for a few weeks, and then you just slide back into your old ways. It's so frustrating, and it feels exactly like this, just pushing a giant rock up a hill for no reason. But what if the problem isn't our willpower? What if it's our whole approach that's wrong?
And here it is. This is the big idea. And it's kind of backwards from how we usually think. We are so focused on the outcome, losing the weight, writing the book, but this idea suggests we're starting at the wrong end of the problem. True, lasting change isn't really about what you do. It's about who you decide to become.
To really see this in action, let me tell you a really simple but super powerful story that makes this whole thing click.
Okay, so imagine two people are offered a cigarette. The first person says, "No thanks, I'm trying to quit." Now listen to the second person. They say, "No thanks, I'm not a smoker." Just feel the difference in those two statements. It's a huge shift in how they see themselves.
So just think about it for a second. Who do you think has a better shot at sticking with it? The person who is still trying to fight an old habit, or the person who has already decided they are someone new?
And that's the whole game right there. It's subtle, but it is everything. The first person still sees themselves as a smoker who is struggling. They're actively fighting their own identity. But the second person, they've made a deep internal shift. For them, saying no isn't a struggle. It's just what they do because it lines up with who they are now.
So this brings us to the main concept, identity-based habits. It's the idea that our behaviors are just a reflection of our identity. When your habits and your identity are on the same team, change feels almost effortless. But when they're in conflict, well, that's when you're back to pushing that boulder up the hill.
And here's where you can really see the difference. On the one hand, you have the way we usually do things, outcome-based goals. I want to lose 10 pounds, or I want to finish a book. But the identity-based approach completely flips that. The goal isn't to lose weight, it's to become a healthy person. The goal isn't just to finish one book, it's to become a reader. See? One is a finish line, but the other is a whole new way of living.
Okay, so this all sounds great, right? But how do you actually do it? How do you go from just wanting a result to actually changing who you are on a deeper level? Well, it's actually way more straightforward than you might think.
It really just boils down to a simple two-step plan. First, you decide who you want to become. That's your blueprint. And second, you start proving it to yourself with small, consistent wins. You lay the bricks one by one. Let's break that down.
So step one is all about changing the question you ask yourself. Instead of, what do I want to achieve? Start asking, who is the type of person who could achieve that? So it's not, I want to run a marathon. It's, I am the type of person who doesn't miss a training run. It's not, I want to learn a language. It's, I am the type of person who practices every single day.
And this is the magic. Once you've decided on that identity, every single thing you do becomes a vote. You're casting a ballot for the person you want to be. Picking up a book for 5 minutes is a vote for, I'm a reader. Doing 10 push-ups is a vote for, I'm an athletic person. These tiny little votes are what build your new identity from the ground up.
And that is step 2. You're proving it to yourself. Your brain is smart. It needs evidence. These small wins, these little votes you cast every day, that's the evidence. They're tangible proof that you really are becoming that person. It's not about some grand heroic effort. It's about stacking up small, undeniable proofs, day after day.
I mean, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? Your identity isn't something that's set in stone. It's something you build. And you build it with the things you do over and over and over again. Your habits shape your identity, and then your identity makes those habits feel natural. It's an awesome feedback loop.
And here's something really important to remember. This is not about being perfect. You're going to miss a day, you're going to eat the pizza, that's totally okay. Chasing perfection is fragile. It shatters the first time you mess up. But this is about building a body of evidence. A few votes against you don't decide an election, right? What matters is the overall trend. Is the pile of proof for your new identity getting bigger over time? That's the only thing that matters.
So that's what I want to leave you with. Let's forget for a moment about all the things you want to achieve, and instead ask yourself this one powerful question. Who is the person you truly want to become? Because once you have the answer to that, everything else just starts to fall into place.